Greetings, students. Now, let's practice writing some words with the letters that we've practiced so far. Let's see if you can read this word. That's right. The word is kit. Now, let me talk you through it. Please watch and pay attention. Start your K like an L. Come straight down to the bottom, making a straight line here. Go back up that straight line like an H. But when you get right about here, tuck it in, pull it out, but don't pick up your pencil or pen. Now go right into your I and come down on that same line. Then go right into your T and come down on that same line. Dot your I, cross your T. Remember, the longer your tail is, the more space you'll have between each letter. K-I-T. Here it is again. K, I, T. One more time. K, I, T. Now you try. Here's our next word. Let's see if you can read it. Can you read it? That's right. Full. F-U-L-L. Now, pay attention as I talk you through it. Start off your lowercase f like an L. Come straight down like you would an H, but go all the way down to the next solid line. Loop up and close at the ground line. Make your tail go right into your U, which looks like two I's put together. Give it a tail and go right into the L. Roller coaster. Go to the top line, roller coaster down, and tail. Remember, the tail stops short of the dotted line. That means it does not quite touch the dotted line. Here it is again, a little faster. F, U, L, L. Now you try. Our next word is, let's see if you can read it. That's correct. The. And this is how you form the letters. Tall T up the mountain. Come down the mountain on that same line until you get to the very bottom. Then you split it apart and give it a tail. Now go up the mountain again. Come down, loop around like a roller coaster. Then straight down to the bottom. Go up on that same line until you get back to the dotted line, making your first and only lump. Give it a tail. That's the H. Now go up to the middle line and roller coaster ride around. Don't cross the lines until you're at the bottom of that roller coaster ride. Then give it a tail. Pick up your pencil or pen and cross the T from left to right. Here it is again. T, H, E, and cross the T. Now pause the video and you try. Our next letter is the letter C. Start at the bottom or the ground line. Prepare for takeoff. Go down the runway and go up into the air. Diagonal line. When you get to the dotted line, I call it making a dip. Dip your line down a little bit, but then go back up and around. Then come down, touch that ground line, and give the C a tail. This is cursive C. It almost looks like a water wave in the ocean. Remember, it should dip down. Here it is again. Start at the bottom, go up, diagonal line, dip down, come back around on that same line, and give it a tail. Remember, the curve should be here. It's like an eye with a curved tip. Here it is again. And now you have the letter C. Pause the video and practice on your own. Now it's time for the letter A. A starts off just like the letter C. Notice the bubble in both letters. Every letter that has a bubble starts off like a C. This is the foundation. So for the letter A, start at the bottom, prepare for takeoff, lift up, dip down, go back around the other way, close up that bubble, and then give it a tail. Okay? Let's look at that A again. Make a C, come back around the other way, close it up, and give it a tail. Here it is one more time. Now you practice making A's and circle your best A when you're finished. Our next bubble letter is the letter D, lowercase d. It starts off like a C. You close it up like the A. But when you get to the line here, you're going to go all the way up to the top line, the solid line at the top, because D is a tall letter. Here it is now. Make a C, go back around the other way, close it up like an A, but keep going to that solid line at the top. Come down on the same line you went up on, and then give it a tail. That is a cursive D. Here it is again. Make your C, turn it into an A, but keep going and make it a D with a tail. Last time. Now pause the video and practice making D's. The next letter is lowercase o. O, as you can see, is another bubble letter, as I like to call it. So bubble letters start the same. You make a C. So for the O, make a C, come back around the other way, then go back up to the top of that C. Close it up. But keep on closing it until you get right about here to the left side. Then come down a little bit and give it a happy face tail. Now I call it a happy face tail because when my mother was teaching before she retired, at the tops of her students' paper, she would draw a happy face like this. So I call that little curve there a happy face tail. Here it is again. Make a C, close it up, go back around to the top, and give it a happy face tail. Notice the tail does not go above the dotted line. Here it is one last time. Make a C, go back around the other way, and give it a happy face tail. Now you try. Now it's time for the letter G. Notice the G has a bubble. So how are we going to start it off? That's right, making a C first, turning it into an A, but dropping the line down and making a G to complete it. Watch. Make your C, go back around the other way, close it up like an A, but drop the line down all the way to the next solid line and curve up like a G, but you want to close that curve and make a tail. Notice my lines did not cross until I got to the solid line here at the bottom. Here it is again. Make your C. Go back around the other way. Close it up. Drop the line all the way down until you get to the next solid line. Come up, come up, come up. Don't cross the lines until you get to the ground here. Then finish up with your tail. Here it is one more time. And when you're finished, circle your best G. Now pause the video and you try. Now it's time for the letter Q. With the letter Q, think of your letter G. Start off like a C. Turn it into an A. Drop down, but instead of curving or looping the line to the left, we're going to loop backwards to the right, just as if you were making a printed Q. Notice how that line goes to the back or to the right. That's how we'll form our loop. And here is the cursive Q. Make your C, turn it into an A, drop down to the bottom solid line, curve to the right, close up your curve at the ground or the bottom line, and give it a tail. Try not to make your loops too large or too skinny. Here is a cursive Q again. Make your C, turn it into an A, drop down to the bottom, curl to the right or backwards, close it, and give it a tail. Here it is one more time. Circle your best Q. I like this Q because there are no openings here. I have a little opening here. And practice your own. Now it's time to practice writing some words. Let's see if you can read the words in cursive. That's right. The word is dog. Now you try. Make a C, turn it into an A, and then keep going to make a D. Drop down on that same line. Make a C, happy face tail. Go into your G without touching the ground. Make a C and turn it into a G. Dog.